Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me for another Takeaway Tuesday with Northern Stamper. If you have any questions, you can always drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Tina Kavergich. I am so excited to be here with you today. Now, I don't know about you. How many of you are all ready for Christmas? You know, you got the Christmas tree up, you got the presents under the tree and stocking all set up. I do. Well, I got most of the presents, and you know what? The UPS guy just came today, and he kind of wished me happy birthday. But the silly man, did he not realize that he's going to be coming 3 more times to drop off Stampin' Up! Packages for this week? Oh my goodness, I thought that was absolutely funny. I said, I'll see you again. Anyways, thank you for joining me. We are going to be working with the Love and Courage stamp set today. I hope you're have it all ready, or hopefully you can watch it along and make some cards with me. Now, each week I was going to showcase a different color, and today we are showcasing blue, and I'm going to be actually using Misty Moonlight, and that is for, yeah, blue is for anti-bullying, child abuse prevention, for fallen officers and stuff like that. I really wanted to focus on various colors other than pink. Now, not to dismiss pink at all as breast cancer awareness, but I think there are so many great programs out there that need to be highlighted also. And today is going to be blue. Don't forget to say hi and tell me where you're watching from and drop a little comment below. And if you're watching on replay, just mark in replay. So I'd love to see where you're coming in from. And I just wanted to let you know I had been busy cleaning out my craft rooms. And as I said, I have ended up with a whole bunch of packages that I want to mail out. And these are just filled with cards that I had made over the last year. And what I did is I just popped them all in the envelope and want to send them out. So what I'm going to do is do like a random, I'm going to pick some random people. This time I'm going to choose 3. Make sure you comment and, follow along to make sure you get your name in for a random draw of packages. I want to make sure that everybody gets some, and that is going to be great. That's my way of sharing. I always mail them out, but I'd like to share a little bit more. The mini catalog has been mailed out. If you haven't received yours, let me know, comment, or an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. I have a few left here that I can mail out to you if you like, and you can see I've already got a whole bunch. Look at that, already all tagged up here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I got a whole bunch tagged up, and I can't wait to show you. I can't show you inside the catalog yet, but you're going to love what we got coming out. And today I'm going to be working in my craft room with some of the items in this new catalog. I'm very excited to show you. Also, I wanted to point out, coming in January, there is going to be a change in the Takeaway Tuesday. Tuesday, I wanted you to know that I'm going to be moving from Tuesday, is going to be moved in January to Monday at 10 a.m. and it's going to be called Inkside the Craft Room. And I'm going to be doing a variety of different things. Not only will you can join along and have packages mailed out to you, but I will be showing you different things. Now, for the month of January, I thought we're going to be doing techniques. So I'm going to show you 4 of my favorite techniques, and you won't want to miss that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the follow button, just to make sure that you don't miss anything coming in January. January, we're going to start off and we're going to kick off the year with learning 4 new techniques, or 4 techniques that are actually my favorite, and I hope you'll be able to join me. Mondays at 10 o'clock, mark that down. So the Tuesdays are moving to Monday. What I wanted to do is kick off the week with different things and, kind of get those juices flowing. So Inkside the Craft Room starting Monday in January. Okay, so make sure you mark that down. All right, Love and Courage is currently on sale. You want to grab this. It is I love it. I think it's really great. I think it's a great stamp set that they came up with, and it's so versatile for so many different things. As I said, today we are doing blue, and we're using Misty Moonlight, and each week I'm focusing on something that is very personal to me. So last week I used purple. This week I'm using blue. The next week I'm going to be using a different color, and each ribbon color means something personal to me. So the blue one, it means something very personal to me also, as did last week's. I hope you caught last week's card. It was fantastic, and I just love this stamp set. So if you have any questions or you would like to get the stamp set, it's currently on sale, northernstamper@gmail.com. All right, are you ready to get started? I'm going to show you what the items we're going to be using today. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started. Okay, before we get going, tell me, what is your craft desk like right now? Is it, come on, be honest. Like, are you in like totally full creation mode and everything's everywhere? Or are you clean and neat as a pin? I'm really curious because if you could see my craft room right now, it is like a bomb exploded in here. Oh my goodness. Anyways, thanks for joining me. All right, what we're going to be doing, as I said, we're using Misty Moonlight. I have my card base. Okay, so you got to have a card base, and we're making this card landscape. So I'm going to just fold it over. Okay, just fold it over, and landscape. Some people get confused. Okay, landscape is long. Okay, portrait is tall. So we're going to be making a landscape card this way. So it's going to be long, so it opens up like this. It's very important that you have it opening like this, okay? All right, Gail says her desk is always messy. And Carol, oh, Carol, I know how your desk is, don't worry. So we are doing landscape, so make sure it is a landscape card. So, okay, like that. So we have the card base, and you are going to need a scrap of Misty Moonlight because we are going to be cutting some out with some circles. Now I'm using circles. Now watch the live, and you can maybe use some other different shapes if you have them. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting out a circle, and I'm using Misty Moonlight. So there it goes. So there's it is. It's cut out. And I like this one because it has a very subtle kind of pattern inside. So there you go. Can you see the subtle pattern? Okay, there. Lynn's is non-existent. Lynn's desk is taken over by wrapping paper. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have choose a shape that you have. So like I said, I'm using the circles. I love the circles. You know what? When there's ever anything in a catalog, I think I mentioned this last week. If there's anything in a catalog, make sure and it's a shape, make sure you grab it. You know what? They are so useful. I have squares and rectangles and diamonds and every shape, and they're very useful. So you're going to cut out a circle or whatever shape from the Misty Moonlight cardstock. So you need a piece like that. Okay, so a piece like that. And from the Spotlight in Nature, I love this die set. I'm using a piece of scrap white, okay, and I got a piece of scrap white, and it's a little bit smaller than the Misty Moonlight, so you want something that's a little bit smaller. Oops, and I'm going to die cut it out. So there we go. Look at the edge on that. So there we go. It's a little bit smaller. So if I take that piece, you can see how they kind of go together. They really highlight really nicely, especially with the dots around on this. It really highlights nicely in the Misty Moonlight. Oh, looking great. Okay, so we have that. Okay, now you're going to need a piece of basic white. Now this is 4 by 5 1/4, and that goes on the inside. Okay, very important. It goes on the inside. All right. You need a piece of ribbon. Doesn't matter what kind you have. And yes, oh my goodness, today, can you believe it, Carol? I am not using my gold weave ribbon. I have broken away from that for the day. So I have some ribbon, and it is the Misty Moonlight ribbon, and it looks really nice together. I love it. I love how everything coordinates together. So I have my ribbon, right? The only thing that you need to add on is some designer series paper or DSP. Now I've chosen two different ones, and you're going to help me decide which one I want. So I just went through my scrap bin. All right. I just went through my scrap bin and I grabbed whatever, I thought matched the Misty Moonlight. So I have this one here and this one here, or the one with the white. Okay. So I got the two. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to use, but you're going to help me along. Okay. So let's grab some DSP. Let's move this all off. And let's get started with our we're going to start with our card base, okay? Nobody can believe I'm not using my ribbon. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to start with our card base, and I'm going to open it up. And what we're going to do is, for the front of this card, we are going to do some modification on this front of the card. So let's grab our trimmer. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the front of the card. Okay, so I have this here, and I'm going to have one side, the right side, and that is going to be 1 1/4. So let me write this down. Okay, apparently, let me get this. I'm going to write this down so that you can follow along. I'm going to cut, so 1 1/4 on the right. Okay, there we go. We're going to put that there. Okay, 1 1/4. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to bring this in. Move this around here. There we go. 1 1/4. So what I'm going to do, there is 1 1/4. I'm going to put it in, and now this is the right side. It's upside down. And I'm going to drop my blade right on this score line. Okay, so I'm going to take this, drop my blade on the score line as best as I can, push it down, and cut. Okay, so I'm going to lift it up, and if I didn't quite get that, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to snip up to that score line. So it was 1 1/4. Okay, here we go. All right, so that was on the right. On the left, I'm going to cut it at 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to turn this, and actually I need to flip the whole card over because it just makes it easier to cut. So I'm just going to flip it over, stick that over here, and I'm going to cut on the left side 2 inches. So I'm going to put it in again, drop the blade right on that score line as best as I can, press it down and cut away. So just be careful when you do this. Okay, sometimes maybe you got to stand up to do this, or just take your time. Okay, all right, so if I have the front of the card, let's bring it back again. Okay, oh, my goodness, I have the right side is 1 1/4. That's this flap. Okay, I have on the left is 2 inches. That's this flap. Okay, all right. And I don't need this piece in the middle. So what I'm going to do, you can either use the trimmer or carefully just cut it along the score line. And we're going to cut that along the score line. We're just going to cut that away. Okay, just be careful. Just be careful cutting that away. Okay, so that is going to create our card base. Looks like little little elf feet. Okay. What I want to do is, so that you can see everything, I'm going to put that piece of basic white on the inside. I'm just going to glue that down on the inside because we're not really going to be adding anything onto this. I'm not going to be stamping anything. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive and just glue this down. This way you can see it a little bit better. And that's nicely in the middle with a nice frame around the edge. Okay. Now when I put this down, you can see a little bit better. Oh, I gotta snip that off a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Little hanging out there. Just take your time. There we go. All right. So we have that set up like this. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to have to cut some pieces of designer series paper to match these sides. So on the right side, since this is 1 1/4, what you're going to do is then cut this designer series paper at 1 inch so it fits in. So there's that designer series paper. Careful if it is directional. You're going to put that in. So you're going to take it down 1/4. So if this is 1 1/4, you're going to take it down to 1 inch for the right side. Okay. And then if I go over here and this is 2 inches and you take it down 1/4, it comes down to 1 3/4. And I'm going to put that one on this side. And I like this one that's white because it pops up a little bit more. The color kind of stands out. The white seems to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to show you if I just did the regular blue. So that kind of gets kind of lost in there. It does look nice, but I think I'm going to go with the white so it stands out a little bit more. Okay, so there you go. And let's glue these down so we don't lose them and they don't flop away on our little elf feet cards. Okay, add a little bit of glue. Okay, there you go. And today I'm using the Stampin' Seal. You'll notice I'm not using the liquid glue. Me and liquid glue are having a little timeout today. Okay, there we go. I'm going to place that on there. And that's on the left and the right. We have them each on that side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this card base aside for the moment. And we are going to be working on the 2 circles. Remember I had the 2 circles? I had, oops, the Misty Moonlight in the larger one and the white. We're going to be working with these circles and doing some stamping. Okay, so I have the Misty Moonlight there. I'm not going to be doing anything to that. And I'm just going to put that on here. But what we are going to be doing is we are going to be stamping on this circle. And this sunflower with the words on it fits very nicely in this circle. I just love all of the sayings on here, but I really want this to kind of stand out and highlight. Okay. And I'm going to be using the matching Misty Moonlight. Whoops. Whew. Just falling all over the place. And I'm going to be inking that up. Okay, put it on my block, and I'm going to ink it up. Now remember, when you're inking, you're patting and turning because you don't know where the ink is pooling. So we're going to pat and turn. I'm going to take a look, and oh, look at that. It is all over that stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do as best as I can, and it's going to go right in there, right in the middle. And there we go. Oh my gosh, that looks great. Oh heavens. That looks just beautiful. Whoops. Okay. Oh wow. Let's clean our stamp. Okay. Before I go any further, I want to clean my stamp. And I don't know, everybody uses something different. Some people use baby wipes. Some people use the Stampin' Scrub or the chamois. I prefer the Stampin' Scrub because it's like little fingers. They like to get in all of the little nooks and crannies. One side is wet. Here we go. You can see cleaning it all up. And then I'm going to move over to the dry side and dry it. And there we go. All really, that's really super clean. There we go. And I love that Stampin' Scrub. One of the best tools that I had purchased. Okay, I'm going to take that off. And we'll put it all back in so that we don't lose it. We can keep it for next time. Okay. So now that we have that stamped, right? See, take a look at that. Isn't that great? Oh my goodness. It is fantastic. Oh, there's a couple of little spots I forgot to pop out. Let's pop out those. We're going to add a little bit of ribbon behind this, okay? And it's going to be between the Misty Moonlight circle and the white. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because what's happening, remember that space we have in this card? If I put the ribbon on the back of this and you open the card, you can see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of the circle of the Misty Moonlight, and it is just wide enough. See, it's on the left and the right, just wide enough, and it touches each side. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some dimensionals and I'm going to glue those down. Now, you got to keep, when you're doing this, you got to remember where the piece of the circle hits and make sure that you put your dimensionals only on that. Otherwise, you're going to glue the inside of your card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I put two little ones here, and I'm just going to put it on here. And make sure you're going to make a bridge. Right, so there it is. So there's no glue on the other side. There you go, you see? And I'm going to add some dimensionals on this side too. So you're basically making a bridge out of this circle. Okay, just be careful. Take your time and place it on the edge. Okay, now you'll see if I would have put the ribbon behind this blue, you would see it. Okay, see, if I would have put the ribbon behind here, you'd see it when you open the card, and we don't want to do that. It's like a, floral design. You don't want to show your mechanics of anything. So I have the circle now bridging the two pieces. I'm going to get my ribbon. Okay, and I could make a bow, but what I'm going to do is take a piece and I'm going to turn it and make like a little V. There's a V, and I'm going to have it going on one side, so it's going to go across. Let's add a little adhesive. There we go. Pat that down. And you know what? I'm going to add one more. I'm going to make three. I'm going to add three. Just add a little bit more adhesive. There we go. There you go. So I got like, when you look, it'll be like three. So I'm going to go, imagine that all the way across, and it's going to be around here. Let's add our adhesive and our ribbon. Make a little V shape. Okay. And make sure it stays within the confines of the card. You don't want it going beyond really where the card is. And add another one. So there we go. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of like on an angle there. Okay. Oh, this is coming together so nicely. So you can see where I placed the ribbon down, and I'm going to get my dimensionals and we're going to put this piece on top. Let's get our dimensionals. Want to make sure this sticks well, so let's add a whole bunch all the way around. Don't forget to comment so that you can be placed in the draw to get a nice little package of cards that I've found in my craft room. I want to give them away. I like giving away cards. Okay. All right. So I have this. There we go. We got that. We're going to place it right on top. Here we go. And I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to add a little bit to the flower. Okay. I don't want to like mush it too much or kind of, I don't know. Gonna just be careful because sometimes the ink, because it's water based, sometimes when you use the Wink of Stella, it becomes like a paintbrush and it kind of moves it around. So I'm just going to be very careful. And I can see it already doing that on some of the larger areas. There we go. It's okay if I do it there. And then you can dab a little bit. Yeah, I can see it already painting the flower. So I'm going to dab a little bit. Okay, that adds a little bit of sparkle. Okay, I don't know if you can see. There we go. Add a little bit of sparkle. No, you can't see. All right, let's go in our old embellishments. I found these embellishments. These are from a old paper pumpkin. And I thought, oh, these, you know what? These will look really nice. Kind of go with the gold. So take a look what's in your stash. Okay, and we're just going to use a little bit on here. And look at that. Oh my goodness, these embellishments actually work so well. They kind of melt right in like they belong here. Oh my goodness. And I can use a whole bunch. Oh my goodness, they looked great. Look at that. And those little embellishments, they fit in absolutely perfect. So take a look what's in your stash and, add in. Oh my goodness, that looked great. And this is the card for today's color of blue for anti-bullying, our fallen officers, child abuse prevention, and so much more. What do you think of that? And there we go. We can send our sentiment in there. I just love this card. I think it looks really cool. There you can see a little bit of the white from the back. I think it looks really nice. I like it a lot. Don't forget to hit the follow and the like button. I'm going to be doing a draw for three of those packages today. Or you know what? I'll wait till tomorrow in case you watch on repeat. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to get some cards. What do you think of today's card? I think it is absolutely fantastic. I just love it. And this stamp set is absolutely really, really nice. Love and Courage currently on sale. If you have any questions, northernstamper@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I have inspired you to create this card. I'd love to see if you create this card and use different shapes. Don't forget to post them below and share your designs. Thanks a lot and have a great day, and we'll see you next time.